ahead and get started. April, please let them in as I go. You know, these are fun calls. The first Zoom or the first day after a pay period ends, a quarter ends. In this case, so many promotions going on. Just, you know, I forget some of them myself, so don't. I just like it's amazing how many things were going on simultaneously, but it also is amazing how many things happen at the same time. You know, when you're doing business, and you know, the trip, you know, getting points for the trip ended last night. You know, and there's a lot of the 3-in-1 promotion was going, the get 4 glow packs is going, the MVP is going. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there were a few people that qualified MVP gold. I don't know. I think there were 3. Okay. And if you don't know what that is, you need to look at that one up. That's not having 3 or 9 or 27. That's having all of that qualified in a row. You know, having 3 on your front line, 9 on your second line, 27 on your third line. You know, for lack of a better word, a perfect pyramid is what it is. And a bunch of people had that. And what that tells you, if you ever needed verification, or if you ever needed confirmation that people are looking for a business, okay, the amount of consultants getting involved in the business now in order to earn money is at an all-time high since we joined, you know, 6 years ago. 2 weeks from tonight will be 6 years for us. And it's an exciting time, you know, to be with LifeVantage. And I can tell you and I have a list of things that I want to recognize, but, you know, our business was up 18,000 for the month. That's a chunk for the month. Okay. 18,000 points is a chunk. And, you know, it was funny. The business picked up so fast yesterday that I looked at it, and our second business, you know, we had 2 businesses make the trip. Our second business went over 72,000 last night. So we're about to have another elite business at 80,000. You know, 80,000 is EC1, and we closed out at 72. So that happened faster than we thought. Okay. It's been going up every month for 2 years now. And, but that jumped quicker than we thought. So a lot of good stuff going on. But let me give you, you know what, I just want to share the screen for a second, because April's got a great training tonight, and I don't want to take too much time, but I do want to acknowledge everything that happened, and then also mention how exciting it's going to be. First of all, we had a at the wire qualifier named Dr. Jaya Castori. You know her, okay? Jaya, you know, it's funny. Jaya made it harder on herself than she intended, because she took 2 or 3 months off, you know, and went to India to hang out with family and see the sights, you know, and so she missed out on being diamond a few of those months where she would have gotten a ton of points, and it wouldn't even have been close yesterday. But I got to give her credit, man. She dug in and did what she had to do and made the trip. So congrats, Jay. It'd be fun hanging out in the Dominican Republic with you. Kenneth, off the charts. I don't, you know, he hit 550 on the points, and that means he's getting airfare besides the trip. Okay, is what it means. But, you know, 550 plus, I don't know what the final number was. I just remember seeing it at 550. You know, 650 was the top number. You got 2,500 in air if you did that. But, you know, that is a big number. And, you know, he hit that this week too. So, you know, congratulations to both. I know, and I apologize, and I'll catch everything next week if I leave anyone out, but I know Kenneth, I know Jaya, I know Zuma, I know Catalina, all had 4 glow packs or more. Okay. Some had 8, okay, or more, okay. But you know, it's when the company gives out a bonus like that, and that was also helpful with the trip because you're getting 10 extra points for the trip to Punta Cana. But you know, $100 bonus, it's not just $100. And I know a lot of you are rich and the $100 don't matter, but it's not the $100. It's the fact that they've challenged you to take that $100 bill from them. Okay. It was the challenge to do it. And a lot of people did that too. Okay. So we're, you know, like I said, business was up 18,000 for the month. So it was our best month since Evolve started. You know, in the 6 months that it started, it was our best volume month since we started. So congrats to Jaya and Kenneth. And then please jot this down. We're going to be going into Chicago. Chicago's got about 15, 16 people going to Global, and they're all going to be excited and want to build a business when they get home. So for any of you, and I know we have Canada on here, California, we've got a lot of different areas on here, but for any of you that know anybody in Illinois, in Chicago and Indiana, and you know, the neighboring areas, 100 miles or so from Chicago, if you know anybody, we're going to be there October 16th. Okay. So that's the second Monday after Global. Global ends on the 8th. So not that first Monday, but the second one. And then we're going to be there on November 6th, which is also a Monday, and December 4th, which is also a Monday. The first meeting on the 16th will be in Dr. Grege's office where we did it last month. November 6th and December 4th, we're believing that the office won't hold the meeting. There'll be too many people and we're going to need to move out into a hotel or country club or something like that. So that's why it says locations to be determined. The dates are set. They're all Monday evenings. We have the location for the first one, but we're waiting a little bit on the location for the next 2 because we believe we're going to need a bigger space. Okay. So anyway, that's that. And then we're going to have our collagen launch on October 23rd. So these are already posted on the team page on Facebook. I just posted them a little while ago. And so we are looking, we had 78, okay, on the last one. So we went from 65 to 78. A lot of those guests joined the business by month end, a lot of them, okay? So we're hoping to hit 100 this month. You know, our account holds 100 and we're hoping to hit 100. And I know that's a jump from 78 to 100, but that's the goal. And circle that date. It's always the same link. It's the link you use tonight. It's always at 8:30 Eastern time, okay? So that never changes. Sunday night's always at 8. The collagen launch Zooms are always at 8:30. Okay, so these are available. You can obviously, it's just a Canva thing. You can make your own. This is just for the details. Or if you don't want to make one yourself, just use this. And, you know, I recommend the message me for Zoom link. I recommend that one. And then you can send them the actual link after that because it'll get some dialogue going. And, you know, you can talk to them a little bit before and maybe send them to, you know, a video on the collagen or prep them a little bit for it. So maybe you can do that. But anyway, let me just see. Chicago, April, is there anything else I was supposed to announce before we go to your training?
Yeah, a little bit about what's going to go on at Global, but let them know Mexico is open for collagen. I think that's
okay.
a big.
There's some things that, you know, well, actually there is. I meant to, we were on what I call a secret Zoom with the company the other day. I hate when they do that because I just can't keep secrets and I really don't care to keep secrets. So they should just stop inviting me on those Zooms. Okay. But this was a, I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday, the 27th, whatever that was. And they gave us all the details of what they're going to be doing at Global and moving forward. and I want to share something with you because April and I were both shaking our heads. We could not believe what the company is doing at Global and moving forward to help us, you and I, okay, to help us build the business. They are doing things with incentives, with freebies, they're doing stuff they've never done before. And it's hard for me to believe they're doing it. So there's two things I'm saying. If you are attending Global, man, be prepared to take notes, screenshots of, pictures and everything, but be prepared to be sharing that information with your team back home, with anybody that don't make it to Global. Don't wait for them to have to see it posted a week later on Facebook or something. Make sure you're getting the information as it is shared. You are, maybe get a text list made up if you don't already have it. Get a WhatsApp link set up if you don't already have it. And be ready to message your group with information, because it's mind-boggling what they're going to be announcing, the promotions they're putting together. This freaking new product, okay, and April and I have been using it about a week now. It's amazing, nothing short of amazing, and it's going to be available packaged with the Glow Pack. Okay, they've given the dates of when Canada and Europe are opening. They've given the dates of when with Evolve. They've given the dates when collagen is going to be available in those markets. Mexico is now got collagen already. So any of you that know anybody in Mexico, and I haven't even gotten to that yet because we're getting ready for Global, but we have a number of distributors that have friends and family in Mexico. Collagen is there now. They don't have to do it on that funky website. They don't have to do it. They just order it, okay? Just like they order Protandim or anything else. So my message, and again, I was going to show you some of the slides. There's going to be a big announcement in March, for March with the next Momentum Academy. And I don't mean just that it's in Nashville. That's already been leaked. But the things they're going to be doing there, okay? So you're going to want to make plans, to block those dates out. But there's 2 90-day windows that people are going to be all in, running like heck. And that's going to be from Global to the end of the year. Okay, that's the next quarter, October, November, December. For a publicly traded company, they work in quarters. Okay, so we just ended a quarter in September. Now the next quarter, which is their fiscal year, it's their second quarter, even though for most people it's the end of the year. But so the quarter is October, November, December. They're going to go like a bat out of hell. And I can see it in the promotions. They're pedal to the metal, all in, giving us every possible thing that you can imagine to blow this thing up, okay, to levels we've never seen before. And then as soon as New Year's comes, New Year's and into that March event, again, another race to the event in Nashville. Okay, so anyway, we're excited. We can't wait to see you all. Fred, I messaged you before, and you and your team that are attending are welcome to the social we're having at the mansion we rented. So we'll give you the exact hours as soon as we see what the company's doing, but it's going to be when Friday ends, it'd be before going to the Western party. It'd be that in-between time. And so I'll stay in touch, but you and your team are invited to join us. You guys have been great partners on Sunday night. So April, it's all yours.
Thanks. Yeah, we're excited to get down and see everyone. It's too long in between. I do love traveling in and seeing everyone, and just having a lot of fun, and even thinking about some of the stories from our last trip, and that one restaurant we had with the blood bags we were drinking, and the ghost tour,
Dracula restaurant, yeah, and then the ghost,
the vampire restaurant,
we went to see.
So much fun. I mean, it really is.
That was New Orleans. They claim they're haunted year round. So
yeah. And what about those seeps or whatever we were seeing all over in our photos? Yeah, orbs. There were orbs. That's what it
Yeah.
was. So lots and lots of good fun there. But yeah, I'm excited to get down to San Antonio. We're going to have a blast. A lot of the products, the new products, and there's actually 4 new products now. Okay, so you're going to be able to buy them there, and then nobody else is available to have them until like November 2nd, I think it is. So
They're not going to get them in October if they don't get them there.
yeah, so plan on whatever you're gonna get there. You're definitely gonna want, so listen closely, because it's mostly Friday is when they're gonna allow you to purchase some of these things. But and then they're gonna do a great training on the new product as well, which is really revolutionary. So again, listen for that, just when they tell and I don't know how they're going to get everybody in the store and out so fast. I don't know how that's going to work, but I know Bobby or I will certainly be online to get our products. So important there. Also, they've always done this before the convention. For when we go into the spring, they'll have discounted tickets, really discounted this time, if you purchase your ticket earlier on. So, and then they're going to have all kind of specials with some of our existing products. You buy 2 of the existing products and you get something else for $1. I mean, some really cool stuff. So the full product line, from what I understand, is going to be in the store with lots and lots of different clothes and shopping items and set. And yeah, I said there's 4 new products. So two are just like have nothing to do with our line already. 2 or have already had something to do with our line. 2 are totally different. So you're going to be excited about that. So, just real excited. As normal, Bobby and I went to church this morning. And it's funny, it's church. So, but there's so many parallels between church and our business. And I just couldn't. I wish I could. Well, I guess I could give you the tape or whatever, of what the pastor and stuff said and stuff. But, the thing that kept resonating with me is, we have to believe before we grow. And anybody on here is a leader. You're definitely a leader, even if you're only leading one. But, there are some things that have gotten away from us. And I don't know if you look at the bigger picture that the company is doing but they've kind of taken us from baby steps of being able to sell products. They rewarded us heavily for selling products. They still reward us heavily for selling products, but we've changed that focus into business. You're always going to get a lot more customers than you're going to get business. But sometimes when we don't have the numbers of people, we get frustrated. Or maybe we have so many customers, we don't have time to develop the new leadership that we need. And so, that's kind of what I want to talk about, because we really are in a people business. We're not really in the product business. We're in the people business of taking people by the hand and getting them what their dream is, whatever it is they want. And again, you've heard me say, it may simply be that they just want to be social. This is a great culture for people to have other people, be healthy people. But, maybe they have a dream or vision of wanting to have a spouse stay home, or to have retirement money, or kids in college, or whatever it is. But when you're talking to these people, we can't just sign them up, love them, and leave them. And a lot of times, I know Joanne's going through this. She's on here, her and Diana, we talk to quite often, and I bet sometimes they feel like maybe they call too often. I always say the first probably 3 months, if not definitely the first 2 months, you need to be on the phone with that person every day. Things are going on every day that you need to be talking about that person, because the learning curve in our business is steep. It's unlike any other business out there. And it's not just learning about the products, what you can do by yourself. And it's not so much just learning about the comp plan, but it's people skills. And there are a lot of people that'll join an industry just like this because of the people skills. The growth is tremendous with the amount of people skills that you get in a business like this. And I don't know if you've ever taken that into consideration, but one of the things that we need to do is learn to lead 1 or 2 people, and not try to even though, we have all these promotions going on and stuff, not everybody's going to be a consultant. Think about who you're talking to before you make them a consultant, certainly, because you don't want to shortchange yourself with the upfront money. But then make sure that's a person that you're going to spend some time with and work with. It's a day in, day out. And if they don't call you, you need to call them. I mean, it's that simple. They may not call you because they got a disappointing phone call or something. And sometimes we don't realize, because the people that we reach out to first are our closest friends. Just a reminder, and you've all been through this, they are our hardest people to convert. You know, your mother, who you're so excited and you run home to, or your spouse that you run home, they can be really hard. And we have to remember this, you know, and if we don't believe, we don't grow. So, you know, it's so important that one, they're getting results from the products. And it doesn't matter if they're a customer or a consultant, that starts this belief journey that's going on. And if they don't believe in the products, then nothing else happens. So you have to make sure that they're seeing that, they're seeing the vision. And this is where global comes in and is so important. You know, there are people that have been with the company now 11, 12, 13 years. And they're what we know is the Pro 10s, the presidentials that are making a lot of money. You know, there's something in our business that we spend a lot of time in the beginning, really time intensive for little pay. But who wouldn't want to be one of those presidentials where they spend little time? And don't begrudge them, because they built a path for us that is so important. We would not have all this stuff today. You know, if we were just a collagen company, probably a lot of you guys wouldn't even be on this call. Wouldn't be on the call. Probably wouldn't be interested. I know my own husband was like, oh, now we're collagen, you know, and he's kind of like, it's becoming a ladies' company. It's not becoming a ladies' company. You need to sell it in your way. But if people aren't getting results with all the products, and you can love what you love, you know, you can talk about the collagen. And I've had this conversation with a lot of my tennis ladies. They're not so concerned about their face. They're concerned about their muscles, their joints. They're being able to play tennis. They're really, you know, more focused on that, because, you know, we always, the day we trip, we break an ankle, or, you know, have to have hip surgery or something. The recovery at this point is really, really hard. And if I'm out there and I'm playing 4 or 5 days a week, sometimes twice a day, they're like, how is she doing it? It's collagen, because I've never felt better. But I can say that because I have that belief. So your new person has to have tremendous amount of belief in the product so that they can go out there and have that fight. But if that fight doesn't go positive, when they come back to you, you have to pick them up. That's our business. Then when we go to global, those presidentials, that company, those other stories that you on here share with us, pick us up. You don't think there's not a person on this call that isn't tired after last night? I mean, it's 2:00 in the morning by the time we finish up. I mean, it's just, the company doesn't close till 2. And it gets real. It was really tough yesterday to get a hold of the company. Waits on the phone for anyone were 20, 25 minutes. I was close to 3 hours to get an order in for another Glow package. I mean, it's just crazy getting some of these orders in, but these are really, really good problems. So you get that person to get results with the products. And you've heard, if you've been around a little while, Darren Jensen, what did he say was the next most important? Money, earning money. Yep. Right away. So important. Doesn't have to be a big amount. But again, that little amount makes a really big difference. So, you know, it's really important when we get these new people in that, you know, we're spending more time with them. You know, we had a saying, and I don't think we've said it forever, and Bobby would probably laugh, you know, we always, when we look at our downline, and we recognize when we all have dry spells. I have dry spells. Bobby had dry spells. Everybody has dry spells. Everybody has rough months. There are months where you've got so many people that you're following up with, just don't close at that point. But you know what turns it all around is just one good recruit. One good recruit brings you back in the game. So you got to get out there and you got to start talking to people so you can get that one good recruit. Because you've also heard us say that if you stop talking to people, it gets harder and harder over time to just get back in the game. It's just really, really hard, because it's like you're starting all over from day one. You're stumbling over your words. You don't know the packages. You don't know the website. And granted, I know it's all been different packages, so many promos. Everybody's like, I don't even know which promo I'm going for or whatever. If it gets overwhelming, just narrow what you're looking for down, you know, look for that type of person, that promo and stuff, It'll make everything a lot easier. But, you know, we need to take one person by the hand. Just one person can make such a big difference in your business. It's amazing. There are many of you on here that have brought so many people. And I feel like this month, a lot of you have been really hard on yourselves. You've done really good. It is that continual thing month after month after month. If I show you on an average, Bobbi and I recruit 8 to 9 people a month. They fall off, we get new ones on, fall off, get new ones on. It's just a cycle. They become customers. They just hang out. I mean, I've got customers from our old company still that have hung out with us forever. It's just a people business and they come and they go. But I do know the customers that like I can pick up the phone and, you know, it'll ring and I just know their voice. Don't even have to tell me who they are. That's a relationship. That's a relationship I've had with them. And so when these new products come out and I say, this is the product for you, you really need this product because of this, they buy it sight unseen. They don't need to be sampled. They don't need a lot of information because, you know, we have that. But you need to get with your people before it's too late. Share your vision, share where you're going. You've heard Bobbi and I talk about taking trips up and down the East Coast. You know, for us, it would be that beach house on the beach. You've heard us say it, and we don't spend a lot of time on it. But, you know, we go out and we do our weekends and we just went to a new area, looking at that area, looking at another area, because that's what we want. That's our dream thing, is to get another beach house for us. So, you know, but this is a journey of 3 to 5 years. It's not an overnight journey. It takes years to build this, you know, particularly when you're dealing with these kind of products. But if you look at the trends that are coming on out of COVID, our industry went through a real big problem at this point because people couldn't get back with people. People couldn't do face-to-face. We were all doing Zoom, so people were just kind of stuck. And truthfully, we all know people got lazy. But if you're starting to look at the trends, what's going on, this is an industry, particularly those from 18 to 25, they want this. They don't want to do what the parents did. They don't want to struggle with going to work. They want the flexibility to earn and stuff. So there's all these studies that are coming out based on that. So this is what we want. But again, we got to remember it's a 3 to 5 year journey. So if you have to do double time with a career you're already doing and then do this on the side, you do that. But limit how many things you're doing. Some of you are doing too many things. You know, if you're got too many different splinters going off, that can be equally. I always say, if somebody sees me on a tennis court or at the beach or wherever I know people, pickleball here, they know April and Bobbi sell nutritional products. We're really in the people business. But if they have a need for a nutritional product, I can tell you time and time again, the girls on the tennis court will say, April knows. I'm not a doctor. I'm not Dr. Goodman. I don't really know everything about nutritional products. Do I know my products? I know my products, but I can't answer every question with every nutritional product out there. But because I've kept that funnel of what I'm selling pretty narrow, people know what I'm looking for, what I'm all about and stuff. So again, you know, we have so much to be grateful for. I'm so excited about the direction the company's going in. When you get to if you get to talk to any of those presidentials or pro tens or, you know, even 8s and 9s, you know, whatever, you know, listen to their story, but listen to their early story, how they got started, how it was rough, how they only had one product and they had to buy like 40 Protandim NRF2s and that's all they could sell. That's a tough sell. We all know that. We have so many things now. You know, if somebody doesn't see the vision for Protandim NRF2, we can do, you know, collagen, we can do Axio, we can do skincare, you know, and we've got all these studies for it, but we need to realize that we need to put the time in. There's a lot of work in the beginning for the big upside that comes, and who wouldn't want to be in the same spot as a lot of those people. So, you know, don't be jealous of where they are, be appreciative of where they are and pick their brain for every pearl they'll give you, because some of them are just downright smart. I watch some of them on Facebook and stuff, and the marketing genius of some of them. We were talking about Taylor Swift and the guy, the football player, right?
Travis Kelce, yeah.
Travis Kelce.
He's
So
on
Bobbi and I,
TV right
depending
now,
on if
yeah.
you're a guy or a girl, I said Taylor Swift made him. He says Travis Kelce, and it's a whole thing on Instagram and stuff. But not being a football person at all, I had no idea who he was. Now, do I know the name? Yeah. So in my book, I kind of knew her name, didn't follow her music or anything, but at least I knew her name and her picture. If I saw it, I would say, oh, that's Taylor Swift. I know who that is. I could still come across this picture and I wouldn't know. But we have people in this company that are that good with marketing. You've got to appreciate the marketing that they do and kind of just follow and just copy what they're doing. I mean, it's the best form of, appreciation is just to copy somebody. But we're in the leadership business, we're in the people business, but you can't lead 10, 12 people all at once. You got to grab on and kind of live, in church, they call it disciple. You've got to get with one person, go through their roller coaster with them, help them till they've built their foundation, and then they can go out and help somebody else. But if they're on shaky ground and they're not feeling it, they can't get anybody. So it's really, as far as, the belief is so important. The belief is what is needed before we can grow. And that's what our sermon was about today. And boy, there were so many parallels to our business. It was so worth it. We actually heard about this guy, Blaise Pascal, and I've been reading smart man from 1660. I think he died in 1663, but some of his common sense quotes, I'm like, wow. I mean, and it's so old. So that was really, really cool. But anyway, so I'm excited to see you all there. Plan to shop. Great bargains. I know I'm going to be shopping, so it's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll see you at our happy hour and all our fun. And Bobby will be texting everyone, so it'll be a blast. We're going to love it.
I'm going to open it up for questions in a second, but I want to share with you. April and I were talking about global, and we can't wait to get down there. And one of the things that we're excited about, and we love seeing everybody, because we don't get to see everybody all the time. But there's a proportionate of our team. There's a very large number proportionately that are first timers. And, and I told April, I said, I'm going to get my time with those first timers. Okay. It's like, we're going to be down there Wednesday through Sunday, and I'm going to get my time. And you may wonder, well, what does that mean? Well, listen to what happened to us. Okay. Our first event 31 years ago, we still lived in New York at the time on Long Island. We had just gotten involved with a different wellness company, the company, we spent 25 years with. And right after we joined, and some of you, I know Talisha and Ariel and Wendy and some of you on here, you just joined, literally, okay? And we had just joined, and the person that sold me on it was on a long distance 3-way call. There were no Zooms back then. You had to be on the phone, was attached to the wall, folks. Okay. And it was a 3-way call. And he said, well, you know what? We're having a big meeting in Atlanta next weekend. You guys need to be there. And my picture frame business was in trouble financially. We had little kids. Yeah, we had a nanny in the house, but that was not an easy thing for both of us to do. Okay. But we did it. And that person ended up becoming a mentor in my life, in both of our lives. But I want to share something with you. I never had a mentor before that. I always flew by the seat of my pants. I didn't go to college. I worked full-time during high school, and I was street smart. Okay, that was my smarts were street smarts, and never had a mentor. Didn't even know what the heck a mentor was. And because we went to that event, we met people, and that person ended up becoming a mentor for 25 years. And it's always motivated me to be a mentor to others because of how important that was to me. Okay, and the event, you got to be all in at the event. Yes, we are there to get to know each other. We're there to have fun, have drinks, eat together, break bread, all of that. But the most important thing that's going to happen is your vision is going to be expanded. And once it expands, it can never shrink back to what it was. Once you've seen it, you've seen it. Okay, the light bulb goes on, it goes on. And, you know, it's like I told you last week, I have a 23-year-old turtle in my office that is the size of a manhole cover now. Okay. I can't put him back in the little bowl that I got when I bought him. Okay. He's outgrown that. He's expanded. Okay. So that's what happens to us as people at these events. And it's going to happen to you. So this LifeVantage is going into a new phase. It's almost like we need to forget everything that was before pandemic. Forget it, okay? Because we live in a new world now and there's a new way to go about doing business. But the common denominator is we're still in the people business, what April talked about, okay? And, you know, it's funny. I've met a lot of, and thanks to April, because she's the first one to drag me out to play pickleball. I'm looking to play every night if I can now. But I've met so many people because of that. And let me tell you something that works with everybody, everywhere, worldwide. If you have people skills and you have personally developed, you will never, ever feel lost in a conversation with anybody. Never. Okay. It's you've either personally developed or you haven't. And that's not good or bad. It just means if you haven't, you may want to consider doing it. Okay. But the personal growth, which leads to the people skills, allows you to be what I call, and April refers to me as April and I, we have this Abbott and Costello routine kind of thing. You know, I set them up and she knocks them down. Okay. That's basically how we work. I'm a master icebreaker. And then April takes over from there and does the important stuff. But I'm not shy. I'll get into a conversation with anybody. I have no problem. I'm looking in the grocery store to help a lady get something on the top shelf. I'm never, my antennae are out all the time to get a smile or a hello out of somebody. So maybe we get into a conversation. It doesn't matter if we're at a bar, restaurant, beach, playing pickleball. It doesn't matter. It's always on. And I'm always looking to make eye contact. Always. I'm not one of these people that's looking past somebody. I'm not one that's looking down at my shoes or something. I'm looking to make eye contact so I can smile. And maybe they'll smile or vice versa. So the reason I bring that up is this will be a life-changing event for all of you, okay? I just want you to get as much out of it as April and I got out of Atlanta 31 years ago when we went to a conference down there for the first time after being in the business a couple weeks, okay? And there we were. And we couldn't afford to buy plane tickets back then. We had to drive it. It was 16 hours in the car. And we threw literally 2 brand new distributors that were from Long Island with us. We said, if we're going, you're going, because we've only been in 2 weeks. You've only been in a week. Stuck him in the back of the car. I regretted every minute of it. Okay. Because they drove me. I don't know if you've ever had somebody obnoxious in the backseat of your car for 16 hours, but we did. And it was like, but you know what? I look at, you know, what happened since then, and I shudder to think, what if we'd found an excuse to not go? What if we didn't go? Well, then the mentor doesn't show up, right? Our vision doesn't get expanded. And I don't know, you know, I mean, I guess everything's God's plan anyway, but I wonder, what if we didn't go? What would have happened? I have no idea. But we're 31 years later, and here we are talking to you because we did go. Okay, so anyway, let's open it up. It's 8:39 where I'm in no rush. One thing I do want to remind you, I had mentioned Chicago before. There may be an additional date down in the city with Kim. I know she's on here. She's trying to work out a date for the 17th, when we're there on the 16th to do something in the city down on the 17th. And we'll know that within a couple days. And if that's going to happen, we'll get that out to you too. So if you got any comments, questions, ideas, thoughts, unmute, please. Nobody?
I will say that for the new people, you will be in awe of what you see at these events. I remember my first event was global, and it was in Phoenix. And I was so overwhelmed with things. I took tons of notes. You will love it.
I was very surprised. We found out the other day, like I said, they had a secret meeting. I didn't think there'd be over 2,000 people in San Antonio, and there is. Okay. And the reason I didn't think, because I've spoken at events for the company when there was 5,000, but that's before COVID. Okay. And we live in a different world now than we did back then. And I'm impressed with that number. Okay. Because even when we rolled out college in, what was that, June of last year or something like that, a little over, there was only about 1,100 people there. So it's going to be double that, at least double that in San Antonio, which is great. That just means people are loosening up. They're going back out. They're living their lives again. They're, behaving like free beings again. So, that's good.
I remember that there were people from Japan, Hong Kong, Philippines. I mean, there were about 5,000 people at that event.
Oh, and it went as high as 8,000. I remember. We're only here 6 years. You guys go way back with it, but even a couple thousand now is a big number based on everything that's happened in the last 3 or 4 years. Okay, that's a very big number. And so anyone else? Questions, ideas, thoughts?
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Go ahead,
ahead.
Felicia.
How do you get away from giving away a bottle for a sample to everybody that you're talking to? Everybody that I talk to wants a sample. How do I get away from giving away a whole bottle?
I think,
Are you talking about the collagen?
Yes.
All right. Well, one bottle, if they wanted to taste it, is not a bad idea. But April, go ahead with that, because April doesn't have to sample anybody, and they all buy when they buy. So
yeah,
Come
I
on, April,
think
give it to me.
yeah, you just need to share the results and then be quiet. Sometimes we tend to keep selling, like the minute it gets quiet, just try to be quiet and let them come back at you. They won't ask for a sample. It's something that you're saying in there at finally like, all right, I'll give you a sample. Very rarely do I ever sample, and I sell a ton of it. I mean, the only thing I ever use is those postcards, show them before and afters, or, the website before and afters. It really does. And I always say it's great tasting, and it's a little liquid, little bottle stuff. I describe what the product is like, but it doesn't come down to sampling.
well, and the other thing, Talisha, so one sample does nothing for anybody. So the only reason you would ever give them a sample is they were ordering it and you were just going to let them taste it so they knew what it tasted like. It's not like they were going to get results with one bottle. That would just be so they could see what it tasted like.
But see, that's what do I want to say it? You were sampled and you tasted it before you bought. I remember that night. So you it's something you're saying that, that you're putting out there. So just be careful what you're saying. Whenever you're selling, and this goes to everyone, whenever you're done sharing what you want to share, just shut up and let them come back with the next question. Even if it seems like it's forever, it's an awkward moment, the best thing you could always do is be quiet, allow them to speak, and then the direction they're going in. Because sometimes we'll keep telling them stuff, telling, and they don't need all that information. And then we say something, we open a door that they're like, oh, you mean it's, I don't know, got gluten or sugar, or they'll just go down some rabbit hole with ingredients, and now you've lost them. So it's best to just tell them a little, be quiet, or ask a question, and you'll see that you don't have those problems. But you shouldn't have to. But I think because you were sampled, that's probably playing into it somehow. It's that behavior. You're copying that behavior of when you started.
Okay, I'll try.
And keep
I'll
in
just wait
mind,
till
when
after
you
this
have that quiet moment, the first person to talk after it's quiet loses. That's when you just gotta stay quiet, because the first person to open their mouth with words loses. And so, and you'll get, I mean, you joined at the meeting, that we were at, and you're coming down to San Antonio, and you'll hear a lot of approaches and conversations and the way people talk and share. And we'll make sure we introduce you to the people that are selling the most. Okay, so
Please.
a variety of different personalities, which means they do it a variety of different ways. Okay, so we'll make sure you get to meet them.
Okay, I
Another
would love
thing
that.
about San Antonio on Friday and Saturday, we'd like to secure a section. We have about 50 registered, but I'm only expecting 40 or 42 to actually be there. If anyone's willing to get up early in the morning to help us hold 4 or 5 rows so we could all sit in the same section, just, during the week, Wednesday or Thursday, let us know, and we'll put people on a list to text. But, it's going to take some people. With 2,000 people coming, what you got to do to hold a row is have a person at each end of the row blocking it for 4 or 5 rows. So it takes 8 or 10 people to hold 40 or 50 seats. Okay, that's what, and then the people that come in a little late, either they're flying in that morning or they get there a little after it starts, there'll be seats for them in the middle of us, okay, where they can sit down. So just keep that in mind if you're willing to do that. If you happen to be an early person, 8 or 10 bodies would be helpful. So anyone else?
Yeah, count me and Bob for holding seats, getting there early, and yeah. So,
Please do.
and maybe some of our folks too. So that sounds good. And I just wanted to. My first event with LifeVantage was in San Antonio.
How many? I know you've been there a long. How many years ago was that? When did you start?
It was actually before Canada launched, so it was in 2012. And
So it's about 11
in January,
years ago?
January 2012 is
Okay.
I made the decision to go. I'd just seen the company, and long story, we were in another company, it was falling apart and so forth. But and I knew I needed to go, and but I just went by myself. And folks, the event, especially like a global convention, that was just an elite academy, it goes from your head to your heart. Right? It's like, yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, these products make sense. And we got a worldwide opportunity, and we've got patents, and we've got, this great comp plan and these great people. And, all that is logical and makes sense. But this went from when I got there and I met some of the people like, Mark Welsh and others. But when I met people and saw the executive team and saw, it really made sense being publicly traded. It went from here to here. It went from, this makes sense, to, I want to do this. I want to be with these people. I want to travel the world with these people. I want my kids around these people. So that's when I explain to people what's going to happen is it goes from here, because this does make sense. It goes to here, and whatever it takes to get there, right? Even, like I don't sell this opportunity, but I will sell the going to convention, right? It's that important for you to be there. And as Bob said, go with specific intent. Ask those questions, about to the people that are selling a lot of collagen, and what is it that they do, and grab your phone. Make sure you get a picture with everybody too. Do selfies, right? Like, and with everybody,
Yeah,
right?
This week is a chance for you to load up with material for posting for a few months. Okay.
Yes.
You want hundreds of pictures. So whenever you're a little lazy and you haven't grabbed anything to post, you can just go back to Global and you got something to post. So
yeah, and build the relationships, and but that's what you'll get here. And if you've been to one before and just get for us, we're in Canada. It's been 3.5 years since I've been to an event, right? Because we haven't been able to cross the border up until recently.
Were you in Cancun?
The last
Is that your
one-
last one?
The last one was in Cancun in
Okay.
February of
And then
2020.
we all went home and got shut down after that. That's
Yeah,
what
that's right.
happened.
That's right. They barely let us off the planes, So yeah, but I just wanted to jump in and say that this could be life changing. I think back to my first event, like Bob just said, and what if I hadn't went to that? It was in Cleveland, Ohio, and there was a guy named Kenny Stewart, and he did this 4-board presentation, and it was like, I don't remember. I just remember, wow, we can do this. Blue collar people are doing this. Moms and dads, people that, like, you don't have to have a special skill set. And one other tip, when there's recognition on the event and and people are crossing stage, don't leave the room. Pay attention to that and look at the people. You're going to see tall people, short people, big people, skinny people, old people, young people, men, women. You're going to see single couples that are Ken and Barbie going across the stage. And then you're going to see people, most of us, that aren't. You're going to see, I remember when we went, there was this really heavy couple and they crossed as Pro 5. So I was like, wow, okay, cool. And then the next person crossing had 5 kids, ranging from a baby to a kid about 8 years old. How are they got the time? But I stayed in the room, even during recognition, and watch that. And if they can do it, why not me? Why not, Lynn and Sue and Amy and Kim and Katerina and everybody that's on this call. So that's just, I want my 2 cents from Canada, and I can't wait to see everybody that's there. Expect some hugs. So,
Hey, I gotta share something. What April was talking about relationships, and some of you that knew us when we came over to LifeVantage, it was because of a stranger that called that knew of us, but we'd never met him, and his name was Dave Fleming. And some of you may have met him and may know him or not, but Dave to this day is still a very close friend of mine. And he has been texting me during this Zoom. I had to tell him to leave me alone until the Zoom is over, because we're sports people. And he's given me the over-under on the Jet game tonight. And I said, they're going to lose by 60. So just leave me alone. It's like, but anyway, for those of you that know Dave, he said to say hi. Okay. And, he's been gone, from LifeVantage for about 3 years now. He's got a high level VP position in another company. But the reason I bring it up is Dave took the time to develop a relationship with me in April. And even though Dave's not here anymore, and he's been gone about half the time that we've been here. Okay. He left during COVID, and we are close. Not a week goes by without us texting sports stuff back and forth. And we still talk business all the time. I mean, he's just with somebody else, and he's an executive with somebody else, and we're distributors. So we have some interesting conversations. But anyway, he said hello to everybody. So hello from Dave. But are we good? Anyone else got anything they want to share? Otherwise, we'll let you go. Dr. Goodman, go ahead. Sir.
Yeah. Is there a medical professionals doctors meeting early on Saturday morning?
I think there are April shaking her head. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit late. I think it starts at 7. I know Jay is there all week. She's got the Pro 5 Summit leading into that, but I think it starts at 7 instead of 6:30 or something.
Yes.
Oh, that's a bonus. Okay.
There's also there's a Latino meeting also. The company's got a new VP or general manager in charge of all Spanish speaking everything.
Zoom knows all the details on that.
So Zoom, I think Zoom is going to that, so it'll all be there on the calendar. You can attend what you want, and you probably can see it on LifeVantage consultant website now too. It's probably all there, but attend everything that you can on that. But yeah, there's definitely a doctor meeting, Dr. Goodman, for sure. A medical meeting. Anyone else? We's good. Ally, thank you for loading the car up with beer and wine and driving it down to our Airbnb for us.
My goodness.
So I already told Lucian text me and he said, "Do you need me to bring wine and beer?" I said, "No, Ally covered that, but I need you to bring some cases of water. But more important, I need you to bring me to Costco or the food store when we get there so we can load up the house." I said, because whoever's got a car's got a car. We won't have one. So I didn't like shopping online and having Instagram bring it. I'd rather just go get it. And but Allie's got a car too. We won't have a problem with it. But anyway, we can't wait to see y'all. We get in Wednesday around around dinner time.
And yeah,
And we'll see you all as you arrive, and text us as you do arrive so we know. So I know some of you staying with us at the house, the rest of you at the hotels the company has in place, but we'll see you inside. And like I said, you're welcome. Fred, your team has been very good with participating in everything. So we are happy to include and invite you to the social at the house. It's just going to be a couple hours, some pizza, wine, and beer until we go over to the party. So, all right, everyone have a good night. Let's start the month off with a bang. It's October 1st, and let's not sit idle for more than a day or two before we get back at it. Yesterday was fun, and for those of you that allowed me to have some fun, thank you. Because there's nothing like being up. You think, wow, up to 2 a.m, that sucks. No, man, it's the greatest 2 a.m. you could ever experience. It's like, because it's pure adrenaline. It's just adrenaline. You're trying to help people get on trips and win prizes and get extra cash and qualify for ranks and hit new gemstones and all of that. It's fun.
It
So
was fun.
have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you in a few days.
Thanks so
Good
much.
night.
Great call.
Thank you.
See you guys in a couple days.